Packers fans, it's been a rough off season. We all know that. But if you want to stay up to date on your Green Bay Packers, this is the place to do it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay in the know with the latest news, rumors, and everything else Green Bay Packers. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome into the Packers Report here on Chat Sports. It's been a rough offseason for the Cheeseheads, and, well, Ian Rapoport made it that much more difficult. As Ian Rapoport tweeted early Friday morning, it's not just Aaron Rodgers. The Packers and star wide receiver Davante Adams have broken off long-term extension talks. There are no current plans to resume them. The two sides have been negotiating for months, but they are now in a bad place, sources say. First the QB, and now the number one wide receiver. My goodness, this just couldn't have gone any worse for the Packers this offseason. When you look at all of the Aaron Rodgers talk you had at QB1 position, and is it going to be Jordan Love now, or is Aaron Rodgers going to retire? Is he going to come back to the Packers? Is he going to be traded? There's just a lot of what ifs, and now you add on top of that the Davante Adams if now. So QB1 issues and wide receiver 1 issues. Could the Packers legitimately trade Rodgers or Adams? Now, I want to put this out there. I don't think they should trade either. You're coming off of a year where you were one of the best teams in the NFC and had a great chance to go to the Super Bowl. You just ran into Tom Brady, who seemed like he was just on an absolute mission to go to another Super Bowl down there in Tampa. Now, when you look at what Davante Adams has done in his time in Green Bay, specifically 2020, in 14 games, he just put absolutely ridiculous numbers up. 1,374 yards on 115 catches. He almost averaged 100 yards a game and almost had 20 touchdowns last season. Of course, he's going to want to get paid, right? I mean, just think about it. Look at these guys ahead of him. He's outproduced every single one of them last year, including DeAndre Hopkins, the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL at $27.25 million. Julio obviously got moved this offseason. Could we legitimately see two guys in Davante Adams and Julio Jones moved in the same offseason or in the same calendar year? It'd be hard-pressed to see, but maybe we're at this point. So I'll ask you now, is Davante Adams the best wide receiver in the NFL? Type Y for yes, N for no. Let us know down in the comments below if you think Davante Adams is indeed the best wide receiver in the NFL. And if you're asking me, I'd probably spam that Y button. Looking at the Packers wide receiver depth chart, it gets ugly fast. If you remove Davante Adams, you have Marcus Valdes-Scantling. MVS is really the true, he shows up one game and you don't see him for a month after that. We all know that as Packers fans. Allen Lazard has a ton of potential, showed that at Iowa State and has shown it a little bit as well up at Lambeau Field. And then you have Rodgers. No, not that A. Rodgers. This is Amari Rodgers down from Clemson. Now at wide receiver 4, if you remove Davante Adams from the equation, things get really, really bad really quickly for the Packers. And if you ask me again, I don't think there's a way that you can trade Davante Adams. And then just think about it. You might not have Rodgers as well. What about if he isn't back? If you have Jordan Love and then you don't have Davante Adams, you are setting up Jordan Love for failure. And right now it sounds like he might not even be ready for camp to begin with. So looking at what Aaron Rodgers has done, specifically in 2020, coming off an MVP season, right? 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a completion percentage of 70.7 and almost 4,300 yards. I don't know how you trade that or Davante Adams to begin with. That's probably the most potent 1-2 punch when it comes to QB and wide receiver in the NFL. Looking elsewhere on the roster on what could happen, I've already mentioned Jordan Love at the QB position. You have Blake the Snake Bortles as QB3, and we don't even know if Rodgers will be back. So we're going into the training camp season with Jordan Love and Blake Bortles as your guys in terms of who is going to be getting reps at Packers camp. And, man, I'll tell you what, this offseason has just been absolutely ridiculous. So I'll ask you this. Give me one word in terms of your reaction to the Packers offseason. Mine, upsetting. It is upsetting if you are a loyal follower of the Cheeseheads right now, and absolutely heartbreaking type offseason. And I said I wouldn't trade Davante Adams, right? But you got to bring that into the equation here, because you've heard rumors from multiple sources around the league saying that it's a possibility. And you see Derek Carr, his old college teammate, coming out and saying, hey, I would love to play with him. So let's get to my top 3 Davante Adams trade destinations. And there's Derek Carr at number 1, the Las Vegas Raiders. It makes a ton of sense. You think about it, outside of Darren Waller, not a lot of consistent wide receivers on that team. So you would bring that in, and then you'd have a 1-2 punch of the Walrus and Darren Waller, and then Davante Adams would be absolutely lethal out there in the AFC West. Moving on just a little bit more west, the San Francisco 49ers. I already mentioned one talented tight end that he could match up with, that being Davante Adams. Why not another one in George Kittle? Could you imagine the type of numbers Davante Adams could put up with Kyle Shanahan? I know that'd be upsetting, and again, I don't want this to happen, but you have to think about it if you're a Packers fan from the sheer perspective that he's gone after 2022 in the sense of his contract being up. The last and third destination I could see Davante Adams going to is down south in South Beach with the Miami Dolphins. Tua needs that number 1 options. Yes, they did draft a wide receiver early in the NFL draft, but he needs that one solidified outside wide receiver, and Davante Adams would do that. So let me know down in the comments below, will Adams be a Packer in 2022? Type R for he will return, type L for he will leave. That's going to do it for the Packers Report. Be sure to follow Newsbreak to keep up to date with the latest Packers news.